Hello, my lovely listeners. I hope you are all well. I am recording this episode, which I hope will go out. I'm not sure yet, as with everything, because I am talking about what's in my soul right now. And I'm sitting with a little bit of a heavy soul. How are you feeling today? I know that I was just watching some reels and also taking inspiration from the reels, and I know that planets shifted out of this and relationships are changing, and I was just thinking that it's about friendships, relationships as well, and not only the romantic ones but also the friendships. And I definitely have been seeing it and also seen it for the last couple of days. And I always want to kind of look into how what's within me first, look at my triggers and look at my sort of traumas, I guess, because everything comes from the past. Also, everything that forms us comes from the past experience, and what we are experiencing now is just another layer of, okay, I am reacting to this situation like this because that's how, first of all, my experience formed me, and also this is the type of person I am, and this is the level of empathy, of I guess feelings and tenderness, and the deep of how deep I am taking this in and how personal I feel this is. So I have been experiencing, and actually this is just like my diary, I am experiencing now quite of a sadness and feeling of abandonment. And for the last couple of weeks it has been like this with some friendships, relationships. That's the feeling of abandonment, is when I give a meaning to a situation, and to me this situation means that I am not important enough for someone, that someone maybe made different plans that involved other people, didn't give me enough time. And again, I am saying this from my perspective and how I feel that, and how I perceive that. And I also understand, on the other hand, that it might be very different, that I'm not this other person, and they might perceive it in a totally different way. This is the first thing. The second is that I also want to trust my feelings, and that if I feel a certain way, and really go and try to understand this feeling, where it comes from. So what I've just explained about different experiences from the past, and that they are forming an understanding of what's happening now, and this has a big impact. So in my example, I had a feeling of being different and really sort of fighting almost for being included, and having a very hard time, and taking small signs of exclusion as something big. So the small sign of exclusion for me was maybe when I am in a group of people and I'm trying to say something, and I'm kind of being not heard or talked over, or someone didn't pay attention, not in a kind of conscious way, but it's just because maybe there's lots of people, so my presence is not big enough. And every time, it can be even a word, or it can be anything. It can be lack of eye contact, it can be just someone doesn't hear what I say, and I take it very, it just has a big impact on me, and I kind of have to have some time to not dwell that much into this sadness, so not take it that personally. And it definitely comes from the fact that I wasn't necessarily listened to by my parents, that in kind of the first family environment, that my word and my voice was not listened to, was not heard. I didn't perceive this as, when I say something, it's important. And definitely it echoes now, and whenever I am in a group of people that I am not feeling fully included, this really saddens me, because it reminds me of this situation. And vice versa, if I am really heard and I am really making an impact, and it's in form of yes, being very included, and the group really working, and the group really having fun, or one person and being really heard, I then experience a deep happiness and fulfillment. This is something that really fills me up, and this is something that I feel like I am really feeling my potential, I guess. So with this situation that just happened, and I am kind of going through the sadness, is that I was visited by some friends, and we had some activities scheduled for a day or two in my head, because even though they were staying with me for some time, I had other arrangements. I had to work, so I arranged time of work, and then the last day that they were staying, in my head, I thought these are the 2 days that we kind of going to spend fully together. And I realized that actually they decided they are going to do something else on this last day, and they kind of sort of communicated it to me, but not really. And then obviously we had a nice breakfast in the morning, and then they left, and going straight to the airport. And then, while I understand that obviously they wanted to see some other friends, and they wanted to spend time with them because they don't necessarily visit that often, it wasn't communicated in a way that I felt included. It wasn't kind of clear to me, so I didn't really know what plans to make, and I just felt really kind of excluded. And when we were spending the day before together, and when I learned about this, and kind of almost a sideway, my mood really dropped, and I didn't really know what to say. It was just very I guess it was just sad for me, but also because I am aware of my moods, I've noticed that, and I was trying to go deeper in my side and say, where does it come from? The feeling of being abandoned, the feeling of being alone, the feeling of being excluded. And I know it comes from the little me, so a little Hannah. And I know now, after some therapy as well, to take care of this little Hannah, and kind of say it's okay, you are always with me, and I love you, and kind of almost more, maybe even physically, cuddle myself, and just be very soothing to this little Hannah who was abandoned. And also remind myself about, obviously, a bigger picture. I still spend a really good time with these friends. I hope I am a good host. I always take care of people, and maybe I because I am so caring, I might be too overbearing, I like my freedom, so I also appreciate that someone else wants to have their own freedom and wants to decide about their activities, and I sometimes maybe feel that I can impose something on people and think that my way is the best way. Almost when I am thinking about activities, I am quite creative, and because I spend so much time with myself, I am really creative and I'm really good at finding those activities, living in a city that really provides you with all sorts of entertainment, free entertainment. Obviously, if you've been listening to me for some time, I love walking because there's so many interesting things and interesting parts of the city that I live in, of London, to go to and to experience and to explore. And I've been doing that for some time now. And also, like I was saying to my friend, I'm never bored, because I always find attractive things to do with myself when I'm feeling entertained. And it could be something very simple like going for coffee. And what I really appreciate in myself is that I am really I enjoy that, and I appreciate that, and I find joy in small things, and I notice those small things. It could be anything really that brings me joy, and that kind of takes my attention and brings this wonder, this curiosity, this moment. It could be really anything, and I'm really happy that I'm like this. And I in my kind of immediate crowd, people that I know, maybe not many people have got that to this level, or maybe they just have it in a different way. I find that sometimes they're very engrossed in the problems, and they don't notice those things. And obviously, of course, we are all different, so some things that they will find amusing or funny, I won't. So for example, some people wake up and they look at news straight away. So my friend was saying, oh, there has been, first thing when we woke up, oh, there has been an earthquake there, or someone frauded some money or something. And I was just thinking, I don't know what to do with this information in the morning. I don't know how I should react. This is good to be informed, but on the other hand, we are over-informed. We have this need of the information being fed to us first thing in the morning, and we are becoming overwhelmed. And that's how I feel. It might be different to others, but I feel that the constant information coming up about what's happening in the world and things that the news feeds us, and those things are usually sad or negative, or some sort of bad things that happened. We take this information, but we don't know what to do with it. We're feeling that because we know about this, and obviously I am not talking about things like feeling sorry, or just having this knowledge and just, I guess, storing it and keeping it, and just being like, I know about this, and they may be going to somewhere and saying, have you heard what happened there and there? Yes, it's horrible. And 50, 80 years ago, we never had that. We would have to go and get a newspaper, right? Or magazine, newspaper, news, where things like this probably would be printed, but not as quickly. And it would be a one one source of information, or if you had two magazines, or maybe you had news as well. But nowadays everything is instant, constant, instant, and it's just every day is another news. Every day you wake up, and if the first thing you do is you get your phone, I guess you may be keeping your body on sort of a little bit of the constant alert. That's how it would be with me. But like I said in the beginning, everyone has different levels of this emotional sensitivity. So maybe some people are stronger and it does not touch them as much. I know it does for me, and I know that I am very emotionally sensitive, so I definitely have to watch out of the kind of information and the frequency of information coming to me. And I what I also learned, and I learn again and again and again, that I rely on maybe other people because I give myself. I maybe rely and expect that they will give the same, and when I don't receive that, I am then disappointed and sad. And again, I give to the extent that I give, and I overgive, but this is the way I am, I guess. And then when I don't necessarily receive it in the same way, yes, I become defensive, and my counterpoint, which I also do have. So by counterpoint meaning, when someone says something, I find the kind of points to disagree in this, and I feel that this might be also in me defense mechanism. So how it works is I say something, I really give a lot, and then when I don't receive it, I find the defense mechanism and counterpoint, so kind of disagreeing, or I guess maybe attacking a little bit as well this person. I wonder how it is for you, and it's something to ponder about. While I am talking to you, I'm finding this in myself as well, those kind of points. And now the thing is, noticing them is always the first point of kind of healing this, and being observant and finding things about yourself of, oh, I thought it was this way, but it's actually this way. And it's so taking the weight from the other person and bringing the focus more on myself, and how, because it's then also taking any blame of this person, because I want this relationship to continue, and I might think that that also these people, the people that I interact, the people that I value, they may be, how to say, difficult people, because they have very strong opinions, and they very strongly grounded in themselves. They value themselves a lot, and that's why, and that's maybe what I need to do in my own mind. So value myself a lot, be grounded in myself a lot. So, but also when I am around people like this, I get agitated, I get thrown off because of how strong of a personalities they are. And sometimes I feel they are maybe imposing on me. So it's a big mishmash of those things. That's where I am at the moment. But also, like I said, quite rejected. So what I mentioned is working with this inner child that at some point have been rejected, and also giving it time. And in my case is also walking, but on top of that is reevaluating this relationship again, not putting maybe such a strong focus on this relationship, because I rely on this relationship to give me specific things, to give me a sort of sense of safety, sort of looking up at this person and being like, oh yeah, this person has a really strong sense of security and kind of being anchor in themselves. And I would like to be like that. But also when I look at this person, I can see, you know, the price maybe they're paying, or the structure that is not necessarily something for me. The structure is not something that I would like to duplicate in fully. So something that ironed out is, maybe I will try that now. I kind of remember that is the feeling of sense of separation. So looking at the candle and the flame and feeling separation between myself and the flame, I think, and the flame. I think this separation actually is a good exercise to do, to separate myself from this other person, because by giving and by being accommodating and by kind of trying to give that much love, which is also control, Aaron also talks about this, and I can recognize this is the control that I'm trying to put this other person in, trying to say, let's do this is really going to be amazing, we're really going to be have amazing time, you know, walk this way, not that way, because I want to show them the best pieces and for them to have an amazing time. For me is to understand that it's maybe not that important for them. They have different importance. It's not, they then maybe they don't care that much, and they still want to go and spend time how they want to go and spend time. So I am kind of also contemplating of saying that. And I know sometimes it's good to communicate how you feel, to communicate, you know, the impact that other person did, but also at some other ways is to just leave it. If you don't think that it's going to make a difference, if you are understanding that you are separate on the, you know, to this person, this relationship has been, you know, a long time, it's your choice to have this relationship. Or if it's not your choice, if it's your family, then they're not going to change. And by kind of bringing this up, you kind of stir the pot, but it's not going to bring any changes, or it's maybe is going to create some sort of fell off, or some sort of gap, or some sort of silence for some time. Maybe it's not worth it. I'm going to try and sit down with myself, and I'm going to try and first of all give it a little bit time and see how I feel in a couple of days. Sometimes it's good to take this break and just let the emotions settle down. But I also know that whenever there is a situation like this, if I bring this up and say something, it might be that another situation, another time when there's going to be similar experience, this person might be more aware. I don't know if that's going to be the case. So I have to think about it. I have to sit with this. The time is right, because those people left now. So I am left with this, thinking about this, and I know I have to for some time, or I want to do that, because yes, because I this is something that I just want to do, and while talking about this, I can feel this shifting, and I can kind of I am almost taking a step back from this. So another thing that I would recommend would be journaling. for me, talking about this is also journaling, almost like journaling with my voice. Those long episodes of voice notes almost sent to you somewhere in the ether, in the hope that they may be helping you as well in something that you are going through. So I do hope it did help. And yes, reach out if you would like to. I welcome your notes and your comments. And I speak to you soon. Bye bye.